but we time a fish. Bet not leave a minute, stop it. Something like the gold off in that pocket. Whole squizzy riding with me, who gon' stop it? My day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it.
Tonight, from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on Jameis Winston and the New Orleans Saints.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. Tonight, we'll have the final two games of this kickoff weekend, and we begin with a great one here between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, a new season finally here. We had the great one Thursday night, all sorts of intrigue in the games yesterday, and now we put a bow on this first weekend with a good one here tonight.
We do put a spotlight on key games, don't we? Even key nights. Thursday night has become a spotlight night. How about Sunday night? But there still is some magic to playing on Monday night, and these two teams are feeling it.
Come the Saints for their opening drive. Leading them out, a player who led the league in passing and interceptions in his final season in Tampa. But of course, he knows this franchise he's facing well. He was the first overall pick by the Bucs in 2015. Jameis Winston. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Jameis going to look to throw right away. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Off the play fake, Winston. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 58 yards. 1st and goal, a good chance for our first touchdown of the new season. Now Winston. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Adam Troutman, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Saints are on the board here first in the season opener. 3 plays already in the end zone. That was quick.
We always talk about offenses understanding what they want to do before they go into a game, and they practice it. They have their script and the plays they want to open with. But defenses aren't just reactive. They have their own ideas as well. These ideas didn't get implemented very well. 3 plays and a touchdown already scored against them.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. First try on offense for the Bucs and their veteran quarterback, Tom Brady.
Well, we've all seen what Tom Brady can do on a football field for a couple of decades now. But how about his most impressive accomplishment? Moving to a different franchise and taking them to a Super Bowl title as well. Not many players can continually stiff-arm Father Time the way that he has.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Arnold. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So Brady and the Bucs need to work a little magic. 3rd and long after that last sack. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
But I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. Perfect start to the season on their 1st drive last time out, able to find the end zone. Now we'll see if they can make it 2 for 2 here in week 1. Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Winston now to throw on 1st down. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Saints. Juju Smith-Schuster, 38 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, it's only week 1, CD, but right now this offense, they look in mid-season form.
And what we're seeing is the benefits of all their dedication in the offseason. OTAs, mini camps, preseason, you name it, they did it. All that work in preparation, we're seeing them play really well right now. They're making it all pay off.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. They find themselves in a good-size hole here, and a good-size hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Brandon Graham applying the heat off the edge.
Well, partners, the first quarter, too early to start talking about needing a comeback. They're down 2 touchdowns already, and that sack, that disrupts this drive. They need something to go right on offense, and they need it to happen soon.
The sack backs him up, 3rd and long. Tough challenge for Brady and the Bucs. Back to throw. Finds the open target, Arnold. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the 1st drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. And, you know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here.
It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On play action, Winston.
Open man is the tight end Troutman. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
This offense in mid-season form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10.
Jameis to throw it. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Partner, the good ones have a clock running in their head, okay? Because it says something like this: I've got this many seconds to find a target. After that, I have to tuck it and try and get some yardage on this first down snap. He doesn't just get some yards, though. He gets a big gain, and he'll come right back with another 1st and 10.
Jameis now on first down. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
To throw again on 2nd down. Winston. Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
First down, Winston. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds.
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8.
Winston now. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead them to 4th down. The kick by Lutz is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
ready-to-made field goal. Lutz to kick it away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10.
Now Brady. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
That was the safety, Marcus May, who got the sack there. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Brady. David Onyemata. He's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, Winston. Over the middle into the hands of Michael Thomas.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry.
And the Saints are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
On 2nd and goal, Winston. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jameis Winston with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns.
And the Saints are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half.
Will Lutz to kick off for New Orleans.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. He finds his man, complete. That's Arnold. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. Past the 20.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. 2nd down and goal. Brady. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Cameron Jordan. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. And Brady's throw there, incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Zerline's kick is up and through. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing it to break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Final play of the half here, Winston. Looking long for Thomas. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Ken Walker, a touchdown run in the victory. Next, we head up to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow with 3 touchdown passes in the Week 1 victory. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they were losers in their ball game as they were outplayed by the visiting New York Jets. Zach Wilson, a touchdown pass in the victory. In our game, it's been Jameis Winston, who's been on target in the first half. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns, and he has run for another. As for the call of the second half, we turn things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang at Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Here's Brady to throw.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted.
Picked up by Pete Werner.
And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And some room to work. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Here's Winston. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston.
And the Saints take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Well, Charles, and now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Lutz with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it's polished off through the air with a touchdown to Alvin Kamara.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. So out come the Bucs now.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. A shotgun give to Fournette. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has now allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now Landry. They'll score that a 36-yard punt,
and they will take over 1st and 10.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Pushes past him, and he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Alvin Kamara.
Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Saints have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they've built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Demario Davis there on the stop.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Now a play fake. Brady. And his throw here's incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Brady's throw on 3rd down there is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
Landry now on the return. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the 3rd quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball, and if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
They'll run it with Kamara, and he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara with career touchdown number 94. He ties both Jerome Bettis and Priest Holmes on the all-time list.
And the Saints are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Brady now on 1st down. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
That's the former Buckeye Pete Werner getting the sack.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Now a throw here to his running back.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. So 8 yards on the completion there. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Now Brady. It's caught by Mike Evans.
And he is going to have the Buccaneers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is, For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
Throwing on first down is Brady. Pressure comes and down he goes. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Brady. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Taken in at the 22. A very good return that time. 18 yards.
The New Orleans offense set to take over. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
And he is going to lose yardage here. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll try to throw now. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
Winston to give. It's Kamara.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Winston. Complete. It's Johnson. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their season. Thoroughly outplayed here in front of the national audience.
On first down, Brady. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw is Brady.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job. Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on third down. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd down and 4, Brady, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Pete Werner, and the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 33. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara.
He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
They're looking to throw this. Winston.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The busy night continues for Kamara. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
136 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for the Saints, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans.